Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 here on a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Taylor Sharp sitting in for Hunt Palmer. We had a jam-packed hour number 1. Talked a lot of NFL, some New Orleans Saints. Thanks to Preston Guy of TigerBay.com for hopping on with us. Our guy Hunt on vacation. Where is Hunt?
He's at the beach.
He just went to the beach.
He's at the beach somewhere. He didn't
I don't
tell
know
us
where, but I know he's going to see the Goo Goo Dolls tonight.
I know he's at the beach.
Wait, is the Goo Goo Dolls the band he loves?
Yes.
Yes.
It is? Okay,
Yes.
I couldn't remember. I always get the Goo Goo Dolls and, I don't know, there's another one that I always confuse.
There is another one.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
I always confuse Goo Goo Dolls and Foo Fighters. I don't know why. I think the goo and the foo just kind of
Goo and the Foo. Well, he's at the Goo right now. He's at the Goo right now.
Wait, they're at the Goo Goo Dolls have a beach concert?
It might be.
I don't know if it's like Biloxi, maybe.
Biloxi's not the beach.
He didn't dox himself this time. Last time he like completely doxed himself. He's like, yeah, we're going to Destin. And so he didn't do that this time.
I feel like he was very
yeah,
on the down low.
real,
Wasn't telling anybody where
real
he was
shroud.
going.
So we don't know. Hunt's just out there at the beach somewhere in the Panhandle. That's what Hunt Palmer
Dude, he
is.
was just at the
Just
beach.
look up the Goo Goo Dolls.
He doesn't even need a vacation. I need a vacation.
Don't worry, we're tracking him. I have a Apple tag in his car. We'll figure out where he's
Perfect.
at.
We'll figure it out
We'll
later.
figure it out.
We'll call in a hit. Dude, I need a vacation. And I know what people are going to say. You were just out for 2 weeks. We had a child, guys.
Yeah, that's a
It
little
wasn't like I was at home sitting outside by the pool sipping a margarita or something. That wasn't happening.
Yeah.
We were inside like, we don't want to anger this thing. Anything we do, this guy's going to cry. Like that's what we were doing. We were terrified for the first 2 weeks.
Oh, got an
Got
update.
it. The
We
Goo
have proof
Goos are
of
at
life.
the Wharf Amphitheater.
Oh,
in
he's
Orange
at Gulf
Beach.
Shores.
Orange
Shores,
Beach.
Orange Beach area.
That's
Okay.
I
the
love Orange
beach.
Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Biloxi ain't the beach. Well, Biloxi's got sand.
He's at a casino, actually.
Biloxi ain't the beach.
Ain't the beach?
No.
No, definitely an Orange Beach. Orange Beach is, you already know how I feel about Orange Beach.
Man,
Top
no.
tier.
Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Pensacola.
Panama
Destin,
City.
those are the beach.
Yeah.
Was it Navarre? That's another one.
Yeah, you got to get some jellyfish on you.
No, my family, we have a group chat, and they're always like, oh, hey, we need to go do this, this, and this. 3 times in the past 2 weeks, they're like, hey, do y'all want to go here? And I responded, I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere. We got a 3-week-old
My
kid.
hands
Where do you want me
tied.
to go? Like, no, I'm not. They're like, you don't want to bring the kid to wherever? No,
Not yet.
zero interest in doing that.
So tell me this, Taylor. When exactly do you see yourself having a vacation? Because, we got football season coming up, and obviously you wouldn't want to have a vacation right now because I don't think your wife would appreciate you skipping town at the moment.
November, maybe.
November?
But it had to be somewhere close.
Okay.
I'm talking like, yeah, Biloxi.
Biloxi?
Somewhere where like, not too far because.
It's about 3 to 4 hours. You say that? It's a good range, 3 to 4 or a little less?
Oh, no. What less than that?
A little less? Oh,
Oh,
you
my
want
God.
close. Oh, you want close.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Biloxi.
Biloxi's your only
Yeah,
chance.
Biloxi.
So
Go to Galveston?
we like Bay St. Louis. We go there a little bit.
Okay.
We like Bay St. Louis. My sister and brother-in-law got a boat. We normally get a house out there, bring the boat out there. We like that. About hour and a half from where we live. But I mean, dude,
Slight.
it's got to be something simple.
Yeah, I'm
like
about
it's
to say.
got to be. We got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Especially with football season coming up. Yeah.
like I
During the bye
hated
week or something.
I hated going back to work and leaving Victoria by herself. But part of me was also like, damn, I gotta get back to work. I gotta get out of this house.
I can imagine.
I left every day at some point, like to get some small things. Like Victoria's like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'll go get us food. Don't you
Yeah.
worry. I gotta get out of
You'll
this house.
volunteer. I got it. Yeah. Need socks? Yeah.
Well,
I'll go
so
get
I
it.
had to go to woman's house. We got home from what? I never told you this.
Yeah.
Little backstory for everybody. We got home Wednesday evening. So went to the hospital. I texted all y'all that Monday evening.
Yep.
3 a.m. Tuesday on the 21st, we had Griffin. We went home 6 o'clock Wednesday. We were only there 36 hours. That's like the least amount of time they'll let you stay. Like we were in and out quick.
Okay.
Luckily, no complications. Thursday, Victoria's like, hey, I need you to go pick up my prescription. They didn't send it to the pharmacy. It's still a woman's. Got in the car, drove to the woman's hospital. Get home Thursday, 5 o'clock. Looked at the birth certificate. Griffin's name spelled wrong.
What?
Spelled Griffon.
What?
He's a Griffon.
Griffon.
So I asked Victoria,
Griffon Sharp's kind of
do
hard.
you care that much? Can we just leave it? She cared a
You
lot.
did not. You did not.
Yes.
Taylor.
I was like, we can tell him it's spelled this way, and he can spell it however he wants. Who
Bro,
cares?
But then, like,
You are
in the
crazy.
future, like with jobs and stuff, you got to give your birth certificate and like for background checks.
I have never given my birth
Griffon.
certificate to anyone ever.
I think
ever.
for like school, like
Yeah,
my
school.
parents had to give my birth
That's fine, but
certificate.
like, how do y'all even know my name's Taylor?
You told us. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just told
Thank
us.
you.
The fact.
Your name may not be Jordan.
Well, his name's not even Hunt Palmer.
Well,
Name's not
I
even
know
Hunt.
that. Well, I know
Yeah.
that, but like,
He's like, I didn't know that.
But that's my point. Like,
Yeah.
how do you know?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, apparently that wasn't flying, so I had to drive up there Friday, change his
Understandable.
name correctly. Like, I left the house every day, but like, dude, we need a vacation in a big way. Okay, we just wasted like 7 minutes doing that.
It's Friday, baby.
Sorry about that. Okay, this is perfect. Real quick, we'll do it here. Hunt does it every day leading up to the season. We got 2 more names. I'm gonna pick it up where Hunt left off. So let's do a little Meet the Freshmen.
Meet the Freshmen. Freshmen. Meet the Freshmen. They're the newest Tigers on the team.
All right, so Meet the Freshmen. We got 2 more here for you today. Asked Hunt, hey, what freshman are we doing? He said, go upstairs. It's written on my whiteboard in my office. Our guy uses a legal pad sitting here.
Yep.
And he goes with the whiteboard. So, I mean, old soul to the core. Well, on Hunt's whiteboard, we got Isaiah Washington and Jackson Williams, both safeties. We're going to start with the player out of the 2 that I think has a better opportunity to play this year, and it's Isaiah Washington. 4-star safety from Haynesville. Now, he was a 4-star in 247 sports. He was a 3-star with a 1-3. I actually like Isaiah Washington. You guys know I follow high school football relatively close. I mean, I call a lot of high school games. Look, he was one of the top athletes in Louisiana, played both sides of the ball, played quarterback and DB for Haynesville, led him to a 14-0 mark and the state championship in the Division IV non-select back in 2025. He was the most outstanding player in Class 1A defensive side of the ball for 2025. 61 tackles, 12 tackles in the state championship game, 5 interceptions. But get this, 12 tackles in the state championship game, an interception, which was returned 77 yards for a touchdown. He was named, he also had a pair of rushing touchdowns in that game from the quarterback position. He was obviously MVP of that game because he was awesome. I like Isaiah Washington. I thought he was a little bit more of an under-the-radar guy as far as the recruiting rankings go, but you know, I think he's a talented player. I don't know how much of an impact he'll make this year. He's a little bit undersized on the LSU roster. He's listed at 6'1", 189 pounds. That might be a little generous too. And there's also a lot of veterans ahead of him. I mean, we know the starting 2, Ty Benefield, Tamarcus Cooley. Jace Thomas has gotten some run in that spot. Deshaun Spears could always move back in a pinch. CJ Jim Coyley's a guy that can play safety. There's a lot of guys in that room right now. So I don't know what kind of impact he makes this year, but he's a guy to keep an eye on. I mean, you'll see him out there on game days, number 33. I like Isaiah Washington a lot. Now, the second guy is Jackson Williams, 3-star safety out of Shaw High School in New Orleans. He's a top 25 prospect in the state of Louisiana. He was first-team All-District in 2025, and his junior year in 2024, he helped Shaw get to the Louisiana Division II Select state title. He reached the title game again in 2025, but they fell to St. Charles Catholic. 23-21, also a basketball player, so a good athlete there as well. Again, a lot like Isaiah Washington. I think Washington actually has a better shot to play than Jackson Williams, at least this year. Not sure I expect to see him at all. Maybe some action, maybe some special teams role as well for both of these guys. But look, 2 young guys in the secondary, in a secondary that has a lot of experienced players. These guys don't have a ton of it, but talented players nonetheless, especially Isaiah Washington. He is a guy to keep an eye on. All right, we're going to break a little bit short here because I got a little bit of a longer segment next. There's a lot going on with the TRO in terms of players trying to come back to college football. We're talking about it next here on the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
They got deals. Fabry Chevrolet GMC has got some savings for you, and I am going to tell you about them because if you'd like to get by and take a look, you can certainly do it. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. You can get a 2026 Chevy Silverado at 0% APR financing from now until the end of the month. That's not a long time. You got a week and a half. but 0% APR financing on 2026 Chevy Silverados for 36 months. You can get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 at 2.9 financing for 72 months now until the end of the month. Great deals on Silverados and Sierras, and got some vehicles that are potentially really affordable. Chevy Trailblazer, Chevy Trax, as low as $30,000 over at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. So if that's the price range you're looking at, go see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. They're also online at FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
All right, welcome back in. Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Taylor Sharp sitting in for Hunt Palmer here on 104.5 ESPN. We got about 45 minutes to go. We are working towards the weekend. What I want to hit on right now is it was probably the story of the day yesterday across college athletics. The TRO that was filed on behalf of 16 former college athletes across multiple sports right here in a Louisiana court to where they can now get a fifth year of eligibility. A lot of them already have professional contracts, a handful of them, as a matter of fact. Look, I'm not going to sit up here and give you some brash take of whether or not I think it's good or bad for the sport of college football. Like, we're kind of past that. Like, I get it. Like, I think that if I would have came in here yesterday and hosted for Hunt, I would have had a lot more emotion on that. Like, okay, I think it's stupid. Like, I think if you sign a professional contract, you should no longer be eligible. Like, I was reading a tweet from Matt Zenitz. Here's the tweet. Former Ole Miss defensive lineman Xavier Harris expected to enter the transfer portal. Okay, cool. But there's another one that says Cleveland Browns tight end Daquan Wright expected to enter the transfer portal. Cleveland Browns tight end expected to enter the transfer portal. That's just something that should, whatever. Normally, I would rant and rave about this and say you got to have some laws. I know it's a little bit different because these players didn't necessarily know that the 5-for-5 rule change was going to happen when they signed those contracts. Fine. I would have got up here yesterday and said, we've gone too far. Players have too much power. Why can't the players just move on? And I feel that way to a certain extent. Absolutely. But I'm not going to blame the players anymore. I'm going to blame the lawyers and these courtroom warriors who I think should just stay out of it. But they're like, hey, you don't get your way? You sue your way out of it, get your TRO, you can get back in there. Whatever. I mean, there's just, it's hard for me to feel bad for the people that hate this because there was a lot of folks championing for the players to have all the power. Now they do, and some folks are clutching their pearls talking about how bad of an idea it is. It's kind of what you wanted. When you open the Pandora's box, stuff like this is going to happen. And I'm not one of those people that's like, this is on the NCAA. There are no rules. The NCAA has rules. A lot of them are clear, black and white. It's just you have lawyers and judges that are suing and getting TROs. The NCAA doesn't even have that much power. At least not anything enforceable at the moment. Like, I know yesterday it was brought up. Man, it sucks for the high school players. They just enrolled. They go through spring, they go through fall, and a week before the game, hey, you may not have a spot. If your roster limit's reached, that guy might have to get cut. And I would feel bad, but you wanted to be paid like a professional, you get treated like a professional. Professionals get cut. It happens. There's not much loyalty in college football anymore. Like a lot of these kids, they don't go to these schools because they want to. They kind of just go to whoever pays them the most. That goes both ways. So I'm kind of numb to emotional feelings right now in the world of college football because college football is a business. I will give Greg Sankey a little bit of credit to try to be the adult in the room. He's pushed back. He's filed his own injunction to kind of prevent athletes that have signed professional contracts to rejoin college athletics. I'm all on board with that. And then also an injunction was filed today. Class of 2022 athletes who exhausted the 4 years of eligibility this past spring are now ineligible. They will have to file their own temporary restraining order. And you're probably thinking, well, the NCAA just passed the 5-for-5 rule. Now it's getting pushed back on. They're ineligible. It's not going to change anything. They're all going to file a TRO. It's all going to get approved. They're going to play anyways. It's not going to change a whole lot. Pete Nagos did clarify that. That was put out on On3. He said this does not affect the 16 former college football players in Louisiana. You said they have a TRO. It does affect the number of players that like Indiana and other programs have brought back. They will have to file and get TROs approved in order to play this season. So we'll see how all that plays out. Look, I get it. I'm not getting into the legal aspect or my personal opinions of how I feel about college athletics at the moment, which I'm not a huge fan of. I want to look at some of the players that can maybe help LSU because, like it or not, it's going to happen. If you don't play ball, other teams will. You're going to get left behind. It is what it is. Jack Pyburn's a name that gets thrown out a lot. Will Pyburn return? Well, he clearly wants to if this injunction was filed on his behalf. Will LSU want him? I think it comes down to money because I'm not sure what his role is going to be. So if he doesn't make that final 53 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers try to sign him as a practice squad player, NFL rookie practice squad players make about $247,500 during the entire season. It's just over $13,000 a week. But if he makes that final 53, first off, if he makes the final 53, I don't know why you would come back to school, but it would be $885,000. 247, 885. There's a huge difference. For me, I would like it to be closer to the 247,000. I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I get that you've lost multiple edge rusher players like Gabriel Relaford, Damian Shanklin. His status is up in the air. Lamar Brown apparently got banged up. He could miss some time, but I'm not sure if he misses a lot of game time. I just look at Pyburn a year ago, 52 tackles, 5.5 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks. This is a guy you brought in, invested in the transfer portal, thought he was going to be a big-time player for you, and let's be honest, he underachieved. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, well, you got to bring in Jack Pyburn. You got guys like Dylan Carpenter as your depth pieces. Dylan Carpenter had the same number of sacks as Jack Pyburn last year with a lot less snaps. I'm not saying don't bring in Jack Pyburn. I just think, what would you have to pay him, and what would his role be on this team? You got Prince William Mielen. You got Jordan Ross. Those are probably your 2 starters. They've been raving about Lamar Brown, one of the top players in the country coming out of high school. Jaden Breaker just moved from linebacker down to edge rusher. The coaching staff seems pretty high on him. I just mentioned Dylan Carpenter. You can add Jack Pyburn to the mix, but what's his role going to be on this team? So that's something LSU is going to have to consider. But let's look past Jack Pyburn because everybody's kind of already talked about him. There's 3 players out there that I think could really help LSU. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball, Daquan Wright. Now, I think it would be a tough sell to sell Daquan Wright on LSU because you have Trey'Dez Green. Trey'Dez is awesome. One of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the country. But your depth behind him is thin. I mean, right now, Malachi Thomas appears to be the tight end too. He had less than 200 yards receiving last year. You brought in Zach Grace. What's he going to look like? You have J.D. LaFleur. He hasn't played much ball either. There's an opening there at tight end. And there's a guy in Daquan Wright, obviously, who played at Ole Miss a year ago. He's familiar with Lane Kiffin's offense. He had 635 yards and 5 touchdowns a year ago in Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr.'s offense. That's a guy that I would add to my team. What about defensively? We talked about how frontline starters, LSU secondary might be the best in the SEC. I think there's depth concerns. Very big depth concerns at corner, but safety as well. I mean, Jace Thomas is getting a lot of run, but he hasn't played in a ton of games, at least not at safety. I think Cooley and Benefield are awesome, but could you potentially add a veteran depth piece there? You got talent in the safety room. It's just a lot of young, unproven talent behind Cooley and Benefield. Wydett Williams from Ole Miss, another Ole Miss guy. A guy who's got a connection with Lane Kiffin. I mean, Wydett Williams played in all 15 games a year ago for Ole Miss. 73 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 tackle for a loss. He's a guy that could come in. He can add value. He can give you solid reps on defense. And then another safety, DQ Smith from South Carolina. DQ Smith played 48 games for the Gamecocks across 4 years. 48 games. Last year, 64 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. He had 5 interceptions over his 4-year career. That's a guy that can help you. Lane Kiffin said at his press conference back on Wednesday that he thinks the offensive line, or back on yesterday, that he thinks the offensive line depth is very thin. Can you get an offensive lineman? I mean, look, I wasn't crazy about this whole idea, but the fact of the matter is you got to play ball because other teams are going to. And if it makes your team better, you got to go do it. Now, you could potentially add a guy 6 days before the first game. What's that going to look like? But a guy like Jack Pyburn, he's been in the Blake Baker defense before. Now, Wydett Williams hasn't, but he knows Lane Kiffin. And Daquan Wright's been in the Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. offense before. There's guys you could have. I know Xavier Harris, the Ole Miss defensive tackle, big 6'8", 330. I know a lot of people have talked about him. I like your defensive tackles. I mean, there's a lot of young talent there, but it looks like Deuce Gerald's is going to start. Richard Anderson could potentially work his way there. And you could say, well, you have to start all those young guys because you don't have any depth. But you added veteran depth. You added Malik Blockton from Auburn. He's played in the SEC. Stephylon Green from Clemson. He's played Power 4 football. You still have Dominic McKinley, who's entering year 3 in this program. Like, you have veteran depth. It's just Deuce Gerald has passed a lot of them up because it looks like right now he's better. So I think you got talent there. I mean, I think you got 5 guys that could really help. You could always add another, but again, what is his role going to be on this team? I think there's a few guys out there that could really, really help LSU. So putting my personal feelings to the side may not be a bad idea. If you see a hole and you're Lane Kiffin, you're like, hey, LSU paid me a lot of money to win. I got to win. Can these guys help me to win? Hell, go get them. Because if you don't, somebody else likely will. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we get back, DraftKings released their Heisman Trophy odds. I got a real problem with who the favorite is, and we'll talk about where Sam Levitt lands in that group. That's coming up on the other side here on the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
But not before I tell you about Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com. Awesome spot to go work on your golf game. You know, it's sometimes tough to find a good driving range here in Baton Rouge. Maybe it's wet outside. Maybe there's not a lot of grass out there. Maybe struggling to find good golf balls to hit. The wind's blowing. It's hot. Just not a great place to go work on your game. Do it at Swing Easy. You can go into an individual bay. Don't have to worry about any of the elements. You can see your trajectory. You can see your ball speed. You can see your carry distance. You can see your club head speed. You can see how much spin you're putting on the golf ball. The technology is phenomenal. One of the coolest things you can do is see that slow-mo video of your club face at impact, so you can see if you're catching the ball on the toe of the club, see if you're catching on the heel. Doesn't matter if you're a scratch golfer or a beginner. It's still a great place to work on your game and use all of that information at Swing Easy. They're on Segan at Perkins. They're online as well. Swing Easy Golf Club at SwingEasyGCBR.com.
You're listening to the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Let's take a tour at Marucci. What a cool place that we've got here in Baton Rouge. Marucci is available to you to take a tour. It's available to you to work on your game. Tours first. You go see where the official bat of Major League Baseball is made. You go see where they make 1,200 of them every day. You go hear about the story of how 2 former big leaguers and their trainer started making bats in the backyard and started that process at the bottom and have gone all the way to the top. They make the best bats in the world right here in Baton Rouge. And you can see where they're made, where they're stained, where they're shipped off, and how it happened. You can also work on your game at Marucci. You got a youth baseball player, youth softball player under your roof, eating up with it, wants to get better. Well, become a member. Key card access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the Marucci facility so you can practice swings, you can practice pitching. It's all there for you. Go see them online at MarucciSports.com. What a gym here in Baton Rouge. That's, of course, Marucci.
All right, welcome back in here on a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Taylor Sharp sitting in for Hunt Palmer. We got about 30 minutes to go before we hand things off to Matt Moscona. On location today, out at the Golden Nugget out there in Lake Charles. Yesterday, the article comes from Sporting News, but DraftKings put out their Heisman Trophy odds, their updated Heisman Trophy odds going into the 2026 season. And sitting right there at the top is C.J. Carr at Notre Dame. This is not exclusive to DraftKings or any other betting site. This is all over the place, and I don't understand the C.J. Carr hype. Maybe in December, I'm going to be sitting here with egg on my face. Maybe he improves a lot, but he was fine last year. And I get it. It was his first year starting. I understand that. I mean, he completed 66% of his passes. Great. Didn't ask him to do a ton. 2,700 yards passing in 12 games, 24 touchdowns, 6 picks. Good efficiency, but he didn't exactly light the world on fire. And then you lost Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. You lost 2 first-round picks in your backfield. That was the backbone of your offense a year ago. You didn't ask CJ Carr to do much. You're going to ask him to throw the ball a lot more this season. Also, Jordan Faison, really good wide receiver. I mean, he had, 700 yards a year ago. He did a really nice job. Outside of Jordan Faison, I don't know, a lot of big-time weapons for Notre Dame. I mean, they have good players. I don't know if they have anybody where you're going to go out there and just outright fear. There's going to be a lot more on CJ Carr's shoulders. I don't know if he can do it. He just hasn't proved it yet, and there's a lot of hype surrounding him going into the season. It makes sense from a schedule standpoint. You look at Notre Dame, Wisconsin at home. Wisconsin's not going to be that great. Rice, that's a win. Michigan State, what are they going to look like? At Purdue, at North Carolina. You should start 5-0, no problem. Stanford should be a win. You go to BYU, that's a tough game. Then Navy, then number 7, Miami. I think you lose that game. Miami's really good. I like Darian Mensah. I think Mark Fletcher might be the most underrated running back in college football. Like, everybody talks about Kejuan Lacey, and I get it. Kejuan Lacey's awesome. But you go back and you watch that Miami-Ole Miss game, Mark Fletcher was the difference in that game. Ole Miss could not stop Mark Fletcher. And honestly, if they wouldn't have stopped giving it to him in the third quarter, Miami could have controlled that game a lot more than they did. Then you got Boston College. SMU, November 21st, sneaky game for them. But honestly, guys, like the way I look at it, BYU, Miami, SMU, you got 3 tough games. And with their deal with college football now, since they're crybabies, if they are inside the top 12 at the end of the year, they're going to the playoff. So if you're sitting there and you're 10-2, 11-1 in the playoff, CJ Carr is going to have the hype because he's the Notre Dame quarterback. Notre Dame gets all the hype every single year. I get it. I set up here last year, and Jordan probably remembers this. It was actually an in-studio show I filled in for Hanny and Jimmy. It was a couple days after 4th of July. Early Heisman odds that just came out. I wanted to give you a guy who had really good odds that I thought I had a chance. I set up here and I picked Julian Sayin from Ohio State. I said, the winner of that Texas game in Ohio State week 1 is going to be in the driver's seat. All eyeballs are going to be on that game, and I think Ohio State wins that game. Well, damn it, Ohio State won that game, and Julian Sayin almost pulled it off for me. He finished as a Heisman finalist. He's one of the top 3 guys. Well, guys, I'm going to do it again because Julian Sayin is plus 1,200, and I think that's where I'd throw my money right now. Year 2 at Ohio State, he's got all the weapons. I mean, you look at what he's got. We know Jeremiah Smith is one of the best receivers, if not the best in college football. We know how good he is. Brandon Ennis, solid receiver. You got Chris Henry Jr. coming in, who's everybody's excited about. And Kyle Parker, I think, is going to be awesome in this Ohio State offense. Like, for me as an LSU fan, the guy that hurt to lose in the portal the most, for me, it was Kyle Parker. I thought Kyle Parker was arguably your most consistent receiver a year ago. I thought he should have got a lot more run. I really wanted to see him back in a Lane Kiffin offense. Was a little surprised that either Kiffin didn't want to keep Parker or Parker didn't want to stick around. That surprised me a lot. I thought Parker could thrive in this offense. I think he's going to do good things for Ohio State. And this is a guy coming off of a season where he threw for 77% completion in year 1 as a starter, 3,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And has most of his top weapons back. Year 2 in that offense. And once again, they got Texas on the road. But even if they lose that game, your other ranked opponents were 22 Iowa, Indiana, USC, Oregon. In a 3-week stretch, you have Indiana, at USC, home against Oregon. Everyone wants to talk about the Heisman moment. What's the big-time game this quarterback's won to put them in the Heisman discussion? A lot of big-time games right there, late October, early November, where you can have a Heisman moment. So even if you lose that game to Texas early in the season, as long as you have a good performance, I think you're still right there. A lot of big-time games down the stretch. Could you go beat Michigan final game of the year? I like the odds for Julian Sayin. For what it's worth, Sam Leavitt comes in at plus 2,000, is the 4th best odds among SEC quarterbacks. Right behind CJ Carr, it's Arch Manning plus 750. Then you go to Trinidad Chambliss plus 1,300. Gunnar Stockton plus 1,900. Sam Leavitt nipping on his heels at plus 2,000. Just ahead of John Materi's plus 2,500. I'm not saying go out there and bet the house on Sam Leavitt winning the Heisman at plus 2,000, but find me a quarterback that has not had success in Lane Kiffin's offense. You got Jace Brown, Trey Green, Jackson Harris. We had Preston on earlier. We ran down 8 or 9 receivers that could play for this team. The running back room looks really good. That offensive line can be healthy. Sam Levitt's going to thrive in this Lane Kiffin offense because he's what Lane Kiffin needs. He's a guy that can take off and run when the play breaks down and can get the ball to these receivers. I think Sam Levitt can do that. I think he's going to have a good year. So I like Sam Levitt at plus 2,000. But going back to CJ Carr, the schedule is what it is. I mean, it's awful. I mean, I just mentioned BYU is your first ranked opponent. That's not till week 8 on Notre Dame's schedule. Then you play Miami. I think you lose that game. SMU, second to last game of the year. Then you finish at Syracuse. Man, that's a tough one. So I get why they're the favorite, but there's a lot of guys lower down this list, like a Julian saying, like a Sam Levitt, who I really like. Before we go to break, I'll throw out a crazy name for you that has crazy long odds. And I'm not saying that they're one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I just think they have a chance to win a lot of games at a big-time program. Penn State quarterback Rocco Becht is plus 6,000. I'm not picking Penn State to make a run in the college football playoff or win the national championship, but a few things working in Rocco Becht's favor. One, he's reunited with Matt Campbell. So, yes, he's transferred schools, but not really. A lot of the Iowa State guys came over with Matt Campbell, Rocco Becht included. We talked about, Drew Aller might be talented, but he has no weapons to throw to at Penn State. Rocco Becht's got a little bit. Benjamin Brahmer, the tight end from Iowa State, who I think is pretty good, he's coming over from Penn State. And then schedule-wise, I actually think they're going to be in the thick of it. Somehow, someway, Penn State, their Big Ten schedule. As far as Big Ten goes, Wisconsin at Northwestern, USC at Michigan, Purdue at Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland. They somehow avoided no Ohio State, no Oregon, no Indiana. Arguably the 3 best teams in the Big Ten. They don't play any of them. And I think Matt Campbell's a good coach. Penn State's, you got USC, Michigan, Washington. If you run the table everywhere else, you go 1-2 in your 3 ranked games, you're sitting there at 10-2 with an opportunity. So if you're 10-2 and Rocco Becht throws for 4,000 yards, you mean to tell me he's not going to be somewhat in the mix? I'm not saying he's going to win. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's even going to be a finalist. But if you're feeling a little daring at plus 6,000, it's not terrible odds there. Again, my favorite, Julian saying, plus 1,200. I think he's going to have another really, really good year. I think Ohio State going to be in the thick of things. All the weapons are around him that he needs. I really like Julian saying. I liked him a year ago. Like, Julian saying might be my favorite quarterback in college football right now. I know people love Trinidad Chambliss. New head coach, new offensive coordinator. Love Kejuan Lacey. The weapons around Trinidad is what I'm a little concerned with. Dante Moore. Oregon lost both coordinators, including Will Stein, the really good offensive coordinator. What's that going to look like with him? He's got good receivers. I don't think he has great ones. Arch Manning, I think he's in a really good situation, provided they stay healthy. Cam Coleman, dealing with a little bit of an injury. Looks like they avoided catastrophic injuries with Trevor Gooseby, but that's a guy that could still miss time. He is their stud left tackle. So if injuries start to build up for Texas, that changes things a little bit, but I think he's in a good spot. I think Julian Sayin is in a great spot. Plus 1,200, not bad odds. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll do a little extended take it or leave it when we get back here on the Hunt Palmer Show.
Shout out to my friend David Duvall, One Bath and Closet.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Tub to shower conversion can be a really, really efficient and effective way to transform your bathroom. It's not time encompassing. It's not invasive into your home. David says a tub to shower conversion can be done oftentimes in 3 to 5 days. And if you have a tub that you don't use or it's not working properly, or you got one of those big 90s jacuzzi style tubs that takes up a ton of space and you never get in it, well, turn that space into a walk-in shower. It's transformative. Can add value to your home as well. You won't know unless you ask David Duvall. Have that free consultation. Just sit down with David, chat about what he can do for you. They do have financing available, 0% up to 18 months. So go to onebathandclosets.com and get that consultation. You'll be able to see the pictures of their great work. You'll see the satisfied clients who have left reviews. It's David Vaughn, One Bath and Closet's been at it for 35 years. OneBathAndClosets.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here on a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Taylor Sharp sitting in for our guy, Hunt Palmer. A little last-minute vacation right before the football season. Can't fault our guy, Hunt. He will be back on Monday. And then after next week, guys, it's game week. Like, it's here. Like, week 0 is next Saturday. We are here. We are in the thick of it. Again, Saints, Rams, 3 o'clock tomorrow out in Inglewood as they are taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Look, we covered a lot on today's show. Pressing Guy of TigerBay.com joined us for his normal spot at 1:15. We covered players potentially coming back for their 5th year. We talked a lot of LSU, a lot of New Orleans Saints. But we're going to close the show out like we do every day with a little take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, so we're going to start it off with sports because we don't have many sports today. So Las Vegas Raiders head coach Clint Kubiak said he's not ready to name a starting quarterback for the regular season despite Kirk Cousins and having rookie Fernando Mendoza start Thursday. So he said, we got another week. I don't want anyone to be comfortable in their job. Kubiak said it should always be that way for all positions, so let's keep it going. So the Raiders QB position wide open. Take it or leave it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Really?
I don't like when rookie quarterbacks start off the jump. I think that they're better when they sit and learn, but at the same time, Kirk Cousins is not the established starting quarterback that he once was in the league. I mean,
very true.
He was coming off of a Achilles injury, then Atlanta gave him big money. Despite that, lost his job to Michael Penix Jr., which that's saying something there in itself. And now he's kind of bouncing around. He's with the Raiders this year, so I'm good with it. Cousins is not exactly an established starter again at this point in his career, but I like when the rookies aren't thrown in there in the fire. So, yeah, I'm good with it. I'll take it.
All right, so authorities say narcotics and a dozen of firearms were seized from Jules Navarra Pastries during a search warrant earlier this month. Agents executing this warrant found what investigators described as a distribution hub for several narcotics, including cocaine, MDMA, Adderall, so donuts and cocaine. Take it or leave it.
I can't take this right. I want to.
Depends who's listening.
I'll leave it.
Just leave it alone.
So this is Navarre Pastries or Navarre Bakery out in Springfield. Widely considered probably the best king cakes in that area.
Okay.
As far as, I've never had them.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was not aware.
But I've heard a lot about them. I never had their donuts before when we were taking the boat out near Springfield one time. Pretty good. Never had
about
their
the
king
donuts.
cakes. Never had them. But a lot of people consider it like gourmet New Orleans style king cakes. Been around forever. When I saw this yesterday, so the owner, Jules Navarre Pastries, is apparently selling narcotics and firearms because, police called it a distribution hub.
Distribution hub out the bakery.
This is something that happens on Goodfellas.
Yeah.
This is The Sopranos. This does not happen in Springfield, Louisiana. It's an incredible story. Maybe don't do that. I'm not going to advise it.
Sounds like business was booming.
Wonder if he'll be back for king cake season. I don't know. Might be slow over there.
Gotta get a good lawyer.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, but are we talking like some type of deals? You get the donuts and you get a little cocaine with the donuts, or like I'm trying to figure out what you get a gun.
Wink, wink, nod. I'm not telling you to
I
go
don't
do
know.
that.
Yeah, off air. How do we?
I'm asking for a friend. For a friend, I'm asking.
Yeah, for my guy.
How we can get this done. But just selling that out of your donut shop. That's
out of the
literally
donut
a
shop.
front for the mafia on Goodfellas.
Gotta clean
Except
his
they
money.
got like a deli.
Yeah. Deli,
You got
or like
Tony Soprano selling gabagool up front, and then he's whacking people in the back. Yeah,
Garbage
the waste
truck
management
business.
business.
Waste management
Like,
business.
this is something from a TV show.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in real life. This is a great story.
I just can't believe that. So, Dr. Squash has teamed up with Blue Ribbon for a limited edition the beer of a limited edition of soap made from using actual PB&R lager. The Blue Ribbon Breeze, the collaboration brings Blue Ribbon into the shower with a light grit soap inspired by the beer brand and its Midwest roots. The beer is available through Dr. Squash for $8 as a one-time purchase. or $6 for subscribers. So beer soap, take it or leave it.
So, don't hit it yet. Typically, I would leave it because I don't want to smell like beer. But Dr. Squatch is the same company that have the Sydney Sweeney ads. And for that, I'm always going to take it when it comes to Dr. Squatch.
I'll take it.
Absolutely. Incredible marketing team over there at Dr. Squatch.
Shout out Dr. Squatch.
They know what they're doing. Look, Sydney Sweeney, big star. I get it. You got to get the big stars in. I get it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I'm getting that. But are you going to bathe and smell like some blue ribbon? You know, that's the problem.
Yeah, like Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you what.
Okay.
It gets you out of a lot of situations. If you actually smell like beer, nobody's going to know it.
Yeah.
Like if you've been drinking, you're like, hey, it's my Squatch soap.
Yeah,
okay?
really. It's not me.
Drunk.
I swear it's not me.
Look, sweetie, I wasn't at the bar with the boys. Okay,
Yeah.
I just took a hot shower.
Nice shower.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, yeah, hell yeah, taking that.
Okay, so last but not least, police in Georgia are asking for the public's help identifying a Walmart shopper who allegedly picked up $30 another customer dropped and kept the cash. Kept the cash. And he's getting in trouble for that. So picking up $30 and not giving it back to Walmart, take it or leave it.
So wait.
Yeah, this is as simple as that, Taylor. He picked up $30 that somebody dropped in Walmart, and apparently, somebody reported that they dropped the $30 and lost it, and they got him on camera picking it up and walking out.
Okay. Have you seen this video?
I mean,
I have not. I am coming from a place of ignorance. Did they actually see the person drop the cash?
No, you just see him walking up, picking up the $30.
I'll leave it.
Okay.
I'm not condoning what they did, but let's be honest, man. You find $20 on the ground. You stand up, you look around.
Yeah.
You see if it's anybody's. Maybe hold it up. Nobody claims it.
Yes.
You walk away with it. I'm not saying you should. The correct thing to do is go back into Walmart and say, hey, somebody dropped it. It's not like finding a credit card. You don't have the name.
Yeah.
You don't have any information.
Like $100, $500, $30.
Regardless of the amount, you should go back in, give it to Walmart and say, hey, somebody dropped this, but it's $30. You don't have a name on it. You don't know who did it. Like, I'm not saying do it, but like the fact that the police are asking for the public's help seems a little aggressive. But
very aggressive.
Don't take people's cash ever, but it's not like they reached into someone's purse and intentionally took it.
It's one of a pickpocket situation.
Jordan, there's layers to this thing, right? Like, it's not, you're not pickpocketing them. You didn't see them drop it. Like, if I saw Cassie drop $20 and I grabbed it and snagged it.
No, you're a slime ball.
That sucks.
Yeah.
If I find $20 on the ground and I don't know whose it is.
That's me.
A little bit different.
Hey, man, what happened to the age-old term, finders keepers, losers weepers? If I find $30 that are unclaimed on the ground, and I might look around, I might hit me one of these, like, I might raise it up a little bit. That's in my pocket, bro. That's $30 now. And then if I go on social media and see that, this is Albany, Georgia, by the way. So I see the Albany, Georgia police put out a report, a screenshot of me picking up $30 in a Walmart saying we're looking to find Jordan Kitchens because he picked up $30 in a Walmart and just left with it. I think our taxpayer dollars can go a lot different places we could be doing.
Not only that, but like, how do you feel about it if you see it, right? Because like, if I'm looking at it to me, I'm like, dude, it was an innocent mistake. Like, I better go turn this in right now. But then part of me is like, well, if I go turn myself in, then I'm going to get in trouble. How much trouble am I getting in over this? It's $30, but
$30.
Theft is theft. So like, once you see it on TV, do you go turn yourself in?
I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to be like, look, that $30, that Jordan, $30 gone.
I'm denying it to the electric chair.
I'm about to say, that ain't me. That's my cousin.
My thing is always deny it to the electric chair. Never admit that you did it. Absolutely not.
I don't care if they got me on video.
Don't do it in the first place. But once you did it, don't. Like, I don't like when they're like, come turn yourself in. You're not going to let them go just because they turn themselves in. No.
Especially for $30, man. Y'all got to come get me about that.
I don't. I'm torn. This is good. I'm torn on this, man. Like, morally torn on it. Because, like, I get it.
We don't got time. We got a minute.
You're not supposed to do it. But at the same time, like, all those things everybody does, right? Like,
finders keepers, losers keepers.
All right, that's going to do it for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Really good take it or leave it questions there. Definitely pro Dr. Squatch there. That's what I wanted you guys to get from this. Absolutely anything Dr. Squatch does marketing, I am all about it. But really good show today. I talked a lot of NFL, talked a lot of LSU football. Dove into the TRO a little bit with those fifth-year players. I know that was a bigger topic yesterday than today, but it's nuanced. We're gonna go through some changes. I wanted to reiterate a few things here on the radio as well. Thanks to Preston Guy of TigerBait.com for hopping on with us, guys. Hunt is back on Monday, but hey, I had a heck of a good time filling in. Thanks to Jordan. Thanks to Cassie. Tune in Monday. Hunt back in the host chair. He's recapping Saints. He's breaking down LSU football. We got week 0 action next weekend. Stay tuned. Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
GoTro's Outdoor Power. GoTro's Outdoor Power. It is grass growing season. That rain's falling. That weather is warming up, and that means you got to cut that grass. GoTro's can get you behind the wheel of a zero-turn mower for $100 a month. It's a family-owned and operated business. They've been at it 22 years. That's why you should do business with them, not just because it's family-owned and operated, although doing business with local folks is always something that we endorse, but because the customer service that you get from someone in your community that's able to see you face-to-face, have a relationship with you, that's important. And that's why they do business the way they do at GoTro's. When I say family-owned and operated, don't misconstrue that as a small business. They're the National Hustler Deal of the Year 2 of the last 3 years. They've got the largest hustler inventory in the state, largest parts inventory in the state. So if you need a zero-turn mower, you can get one from the big box stores. I wouldn't recommend it. You may never hear from them again. That will never be the case at GoTro's Outdoor Power. You can find them at 2 locations, Airline Highway in Baton Rouge and, of course, in Gonzales as well. It's GoTro's Outdoor Power. They're online at gotrosonline.com.